My mission with Six Figure Landlord is to help you reach financial freedom as fast as possible. For most people, I believe that you can get there in about 5 years or maybe even a little bit less. That might sound totally crazy, but with only a few smart moves, it's actually a lot easier than you think. Every big goal, like financial freedom, should be broken down into smaller, more manageable goals, which is why I created the 5 phases of freedom. As you reach each phase, you'll experience more freedom, less stress, and an overall increase in your lifestyle and emotional well-being. So what are the 5 phases of freedom? First is debt freedom. Consumer debt weighs on you like a backpack full of bricks. You're trying to save money to make smart investments like buying rental properties, but you're being robbed every single month by credit card payments, student loans, car loans, and other interest payments. Instead of making cash flow from a great investment, you're experiencing negative cash flow. Your interest payments are adding up day after day, hour after hour, even while you sleep. Trying to save money while paying interest on your debt is like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bottom of it. But not all debt is bad debt. Debt is also an essential tool to make smart financial decisions. So where exactly is that line drawn between good debt and bad debt? When you use debt as a tool to buy an asset that produces cash flow, we don't even call it debt, it's called leverage. And leverage is good debt. The key difference is that leverage allows you to own something that adds to your net worth every single month. But debt, or bad debt, only subtracts from your net worth each month. Owning real estate, including a modest home for yourself, adds to your net worth with things like appreciation and loan pay down, and maybe even cash flow, more than your debt payments are subtracting from your net worth. So it ends up being an overall positive. So you don't need to worry about paying off your house, but once you pay off all of your consumer debt or bad debt, you've officially reached the first phase of freedom, which is debt freedom. And now you're no longer losing money continuously from compounding interest payments. Getting rid of negative cash flow or debt payments has the exact same effect on your finances as creating positive cash flow. Plus, paying off debt is way easier to do. And that's why debt freedom is your very first milestone. Once you get there, you'll have less stress and more freedom. Plus, you'll have extra cash available each month that'll help you get to your next goal even faster. The second phase of freedom is emergency freedom. If you don't have extra money in your bank account or other safe investment account, any unexpected expense can send you right back into debt. Once you have a large enough emergency fund to cover at least 6 months of your basic necessities, that's when you've reached emergency freedom. Emergency freedom eliminates your fear of the unknown, and it gives you more control of how you can live your life. You don't have to feel trapped at a job you hate or worry how you'll feed your family if you got injured or got laid off or something. When you're prepared for it, unexpected expenses are only small road bumps on your financial journey. Your emergency fund will also lay the foundation for the next 3 phases of freedom. You'll be relying on real estate investments to carry you on from here, and having that extra money set aside is critical to getting approved for a real estate loan. The third phase of freedom is rent freedom. How would you feel if you never had to pay for housing again? And I'm not talking about living in your parents' basement, although that is one way to achieve rent freedom. On average, Americans spend just over 31% of their take-home pay on housing. Imagine getting a free check each month that fully covered your housing expenses. Do you think you'd feel less stressed out? Do you think you'd feel more freedom? How much faster would you be able to save up money to reach your next financial goal? I'll teach you how to achieve this monumental freedom phase with one simple move called house hacking. Once you reach rent freedom and 30% of your take-home pay or more is now available for investing, you'll really start to see the snowball effect in a huge way. And buying every next investment is so much easier than the last. The fourth phase of freedom is financial freedom. With rent freedom, your biggest monthly expenses covered, but you still have to pay for utilities, gas, food, health, and fun every single month. But with only 1 or 2 more rental properties, you should have enough cash flow to cover all of these expenses as well, and that's when you've reached financial freedom. Financial freedom is a 2-sided equation. That means there's 2 different levers that you can pull on to get there faster. The first lever is to increase your cash flow by buying another rental property or by managing the rentals that you already have a little more effectively. And the second lever is to reduce your living expenses. Financial freedom doesn't mean you're living your dream life yet, but it does mean that you own 100% of your time and you can use it exactly how you choose to. You no longer need your 9-to-5 job to pay the bills and make ends meet. You could decide to quit your job and travel indefinitely, or you could try your hand at a new business idea. As long as you keep your monthly expenses below your monthly cash flow, you could be done working forever. Or you could decide to keep your job and keep working towards the final phase of freedom, which is lifestyle freedom. This is when you have enough monthly cash flow to live your dream life. You are the only person who knows what your dream life looks like. And that means that you'll be the only one who knows when you get there. For you, it might be wearing a Rolex, driving a Lamborghini, and owning a private jet. For me, lifestyle freedom means spending as much time with family and friends as I want to, working on passion projects I feel can make a difference, like this course for example, and experiencing wonder and excitement as I travel the world and try new things. Now I'm pretty cheap. I still drive my Volkswagen Jetta, and I consider it splurging when I add chips and queso to my order at Chipotle, but I know that I've reached lifestyle freedom because money is never a barrier for me from getting or doing what I really want. Over time, my tastes might change and my dream life might become more expensive, but I'm 100% confident that my rental income will always be able to keep up. Because lifestyle freedom is so subjective, it's hard to put a time frame on it, but financial freedom is a lot more predictable, and I genuinely believe that almost anyone with at least an average income can move from debt freedom to financial freedom in 5 years or less, and I am 100% committed to helping you get there. But that's the big goal, and it happens step by step, with debt freedom, then emergency freedom, rent freedom, financial freedom, and finally lifestyle freedom. I'll be here to help you every step of the way.